which was January 6th through January 12th. Now, there's a lot of aspects going on, okay? So we have Pluto, the planet of transformation, in this positive trine with the planet Uranus. We have Mercury, the planet of communication, squaring Neptune. So anytime we get Neptune involved, we know it's going to be foggy, okay? And so Mercury wants to, rush and speed and deliver information, and Neptune wants to retreat back and to consider it all and to be very creative. So don't rush your words, okay? Jupiter, the planet of luck and blessings, is squaring Saturn, the planet of responsibility, right? So Jupiter wants to think big, and Saturn's like, let's thin that back, cut that back, and play it safe, okay? We have Mars, the planet of action, trining Neptune. So we know Mars is in its retrograde. It's making a lovely trine with this watery healing planet Neptune, which gives us more opportunity here for healing the inner child, okay? So we start off the week with the moon moving, let's see, it'll be in the sign of Aries on Monday the 6th, and Mars will retrograde back out of Leo into the sign of Cancer, okay? This is going to be an emotional day. Emotions run deep, slow down, and listen as Mars moves into Cancer. Not its favorite placement, because Cancer moves too slow for Mars. And Mars is already retrograding, so now it's back into this water, okay? Great time for swimming if we could. Okay, now Tuesday, I wrote down, is the lightest day of the week, Tuesday the 7th. And the moon is sextile Venus. So the moon, the feminine planet, the moon, our intuition, our feeling, our knowing, is making this positive aspect with Venus. It's a beautiful thing. And also the moon will be making a trine with Mercury in Sagittarius. So enjoy the day on the 7th. I put some stars on it. Wednesday the 8th, Venus will be conjunct together with Neptune in Pisces, okay? So we want to kind of take it slow. Mercury is going to enter Capricorn, so there's a little bit more serious conversation here than when it was in the lighthearted sign of Sagittarius. It's almost like get back to work. So my advice would be to focus on work on the 8th, because love is going to be quite confusing that day, all right? Now, Thursday the 9th, it's still going to be foggy. Be careful in your relationships. Be gentle to yourself, okay? And Friday the 10th, words get big easily. So there's some Jupiter energy. The moon is conjunct Jupiter in Gemini. Words can get big. So, try to keep it light. Use words like it's a great day for good humor, or maybe just to watch a funny movie, but it's not a day to get into deep conversation, all right? Now, for the weekend, the moon's going to move into, it's going to be in Gemini on Saturday, and then it's going to be in Cancer on Sunday. So Saturday, you want to take responsibility in your relationship, slow down and listen, okay? Because we have a lot going on. So just Venus is going to be conjunct Saturn, okay? And so Saturn wants you to take responsibility, and Venus is harmony and relationships. So make sure, especially if there's been conversations, take responsibility for things that you have said, or maybe there was a misunderstanding, but you just take responsibility for that, okay? It'll help your relationships greatly. Now, on Sunday, it's a great day to move slowly, to sleep in, moody energy, and I wrote, say you're sorry. So make sure it goes back to take that responsibility thing. If you need to say you're sorry, if there's any part of you that thinks you might need to say you're sorry, okay? All right, I'm going to put a few cards on the table for the week. So these were our overall cards for the month. So I'm just going to kind of leave that back there. I'm going to add the Hermit to it because he's our card of the year, just so we don't forget about him. All right, now let's pull a couple cards for this week. This week of 1/6 through 1/12. And so I haven't looked at any of these. I'm using Mystical Melodies tarot deck, which I personally really love. It's vintage cartoons, and I don't think everybody loves it as much as I do, but I love it. All right, so I'm going to pull a couple here for what you need to know this week of January 6th through 12th. And I'm working with a few different decks here. I also have the Spellcasters out, which has always been a favorite of mine. Some of the cards are really intense, so I don't always use it with clients, but I am going to use it here today. All right, let's see what you need to know this week ahead. You got the Lovers, and we said a lot about love, okay? We said a lot about Venus, and we said a lot about being careful with your words. This is Gemini energy. It's a card about choices. And oh, look at the little snake down there. We know we're moving into the year of the snake in February in Chinese astrology. So here's a card of choices, a card of communication, definitely a card of love too, okay? But their faces are kind of like, ooh, oh. And so just be careful what's being said, okay? It's almost like I'm getting like you could expose a story that not everybody knows, okay? And it could cause someone pain. Now, your second card is the Strength card, and this is the card of the year last year in 2024. And so it's kind of funny, Strength card. Okay, so you got two major arcanas here, and we know Strength is Leo energy, and we know Mars is retrograding in the sign of Leo. It's also kind of, to me, just kind of asking, like, did you learn your lessons last year? Okay, Strength is about not being too strong, not being too weak, finding that middle ground. And there is something here about in conversation. Now, your third card for the week ahead is the Queen of Swords. She's the queen of communication. She could be a Gemini queen or any air queen. Okay, she's no nonsense. And she's got her bull next to her, a symbol for Taurus. So she's grounded and she's not afraid to speak up, to make the cuts, to do what she needs to do there. She knows what's important and what's of value. All right, I'm just going to leave that there. Let's see, we got an oracle. And it is the fire, the four, the rooster here. This is from the Everyday Witch Familiars Oracle, same people that did the Everyday Witch Tarot. So this is a fun one. All right, so you got a rooster. And the first thing it makes me think of is like it's Mars retrograde, right? So you're kind of almost doing the opposite of what you usually do. So maybe you're getting up earlier. Maybe you're going to see the sunrise. You know, as I was listening to that astrologer that does sky astrology, he was saying like one of the best things you can do other than to heal your inner child wound, forgive your parents, even if they are on the other side. Okay. And I recently had a great session with Mela Rispoli, the new psychic medium working with us. And I was able to, she connected me with my parents, even though they were on the other side. And I got a great healing out of it. So the work can be done no matter what. Okay. With the rooster here, it's like he's not afraid to show up, to speak loudly. Although some of the messages here were to be careful with your words, but also there's some things that's just like have to be said. They're in your nature. They're part of what you're supposed to do. And you can't always keep everything. Like that rooster's not going to keep it to himself, right? He's doing what he needs to do. He speaks loudly. Let's see what the book has to say. Here he is. He says, this card says, be loud and proud. Don't hide your light under a bushel. It's time to show everyone what you can do instead of being modest and letting someone else take the credit for your hard work. Show up, step out, strut your stuff with your head held high. There's nothing wrong with the confidence if you've earned it. Okay? So own it, but be careful not to offend others or to leak some information that you know this week. So it's kind of interesting. It's like all these really powerful cards, Strength, the Queen of Swords, which she's a powerhouse, this rooster energy, but then the Lovers are there like, woo, woo, right? So maybe there's some things that are really long overdue to be said, but you need to make sure that you remember your tone, okay?